Hello and welcome to the news in English live from Mogadishu. With me, I am Omar Noor. The top headlines include: Somali president has strongly condemned the latest Al-Shabaab attack in central region of Iran, where more than 20 civilians were killed on Friday night by Al-Shabaab militants. African Union forces in Somalia say they will respond to the Al-Shabaab attack that killed the local civilians. African Union has appointed a new ambassador to Somalia to replace Francesco Madera, who was expelled from the country earlier this year. China has pledged to support Somalia in the education and other development projects as the country faces U.S. in Africa. Somali government forces are expected to launch a new offensive against Al-Shabaab in response to the latest militant attacks in the country. Kenya's Supreme Court is expected to announce the latest verdict on the ruling of the disputed August 9th election in the country. Welcome back to the news in details. Chinese government has pledged to support Somali government in improving security, health services, education, humanitarian aid and investment in the Horn of Africa nation. The announcement came after Somali President His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has received the Chinese ambassador to Somalia, Master Fai Shinjui, in Mogadishu, in the capital. In a statement, Villa Somalia, the country's presidential palace, said the president and the Chinese ambassador discussed enhancing of cooperation between the two countries and development of the economic infrastructure, trade, politics and diplomacy. His Excellency President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud met with Chinese ambassador to Somalia, Fai Shinjui, at Villa Somalia to discuss further strengthening the bilateral relations between Somalia and China, with focus on economic development, security, and tackling the ongoing humanitarian challenges in Somalia, Villa Somalia has said. On his part, Ambassador Fai affirmed that his government would stand by the Somali people to protect their territorial and political independence and defense of their country's sovereignty. China has been a key ally of Somalia and has been supporting the country in the development of the education, security, health, and other humanitarian aspects. Turkey has on Saturday condemned Friday's terrorist attack in Somalia that left at least 21 civilians dead. We are deeply saddened to learn that many people lost their lives and were injured in the terrorist attacks that took place on 2nd September in Hiran district of Somalia, said Foreign Ministry of the Turkey in a statement. The ministry has extended condolences to the people of Somalia and its government and wished a speedy recovery to the injured. According to Somali officials, at least 20 Somali civilians were killed, including women and children, in the attack that were targeted on a convoy carrying food supplies to Mahas district from Beledweyne. The victims in the attack included drivers and passengers in the convoy, with the members of the Al-Qaeda-linked militant group Al-Shabaab panning 8 vehicles during the attack. The Al-Shabaab militant group claimed responsibility for the attack. The group has been carrying such deadly attacks in the country against the government forces as well as the African Union peacekeepers since 2007. The African Union mission in Somalia, ATMIS, has voted on Saturday to support Somali people to defeat the Al-Shabaab fighters in central Somalia. Al-Shabaab militants have killed at least 20 people, including women and children, and pumped down 7 trucks in Hiran region, central of the country. The 7 trucks carrying urgent needed food supplies and water supplies from Beledweyne town to Mahas district. Al-Shabaab said they targeted fighters from a local sub-clan that recently helped the government forces and killed 20 militiamen, according to the statement released by Al-Shabaab following the deadly attack on Friday night. In the statement, the African Union mission in Somalia said they condemned the brazen attack and commercial convoy by the militant group on Friday. ATMIS commiserates with the families of those killed and remains committed to working with the Somali government forces towards peace and security in the country. AU mission has added in their statement issued in Mogadishu, the country's capital, on Saturday, hours after the attack took place in Hiran region. The regional security officials also said 2 vehicles ferrying the rescuers were targeted with improvised explosive device IEDs by Al-Shabaab in the latest attack, which has also been condemned by Somali government. United States of America said its forces on the ground will support the African Union mission in the country to continue the fighting against Al-Shabaab militants days after the African Union forces have rebelled attack from Al-Shabaab in the lower Shabelle region. Al-Shabaab militants have been staging attacks against bases belonging to the African Union forces in Somalia. AU mission in Somalia said they will support the local militia in Hiran region, known as Mawisley, to fight against Al-Shabaab militants, the worst militant group in the East Africa, said AFRICOM in a statement. Meanwhile, the U.S. military have been continuing airstrikes against Al-Shabaab in support of the African Union and Somali forces' attacks against Al-Shabaab hideouts in the country. Al-Shabaab poses a potent threat to the national security in Somalia, as well as the region entirely. Kenya has suffered deadly attacks for the past 10 years after its forces crossed into Somali border. Kenyan forces have been battling Al-Shabaab in lower and middle Juba regions since 2011. Al-Shabaab militants have also attacked Ethiopia, Uganda, and other countries who contributed forces to the African Union mission in Somalia. The U.S. government has confirmed that Al-Shabaab militants began using modern technology, including drones, and making their attacks on Somali government-controlled towns even more dangerous. This was revealed by Ambassador Jeffrey De Laurentiis, senior advisor for the Special Political Affairs United States mission to the United Nations UN. De Laurentiis made the comments during the UN Security Council Arena Formula meeting on transitional activities of the terrorist groups. Among new other emerging technologies as well, we have had unmanned aerial systems particularly exploited by the terrorist groups to facilitate their attacks, conduct intelligence and develop programs, as well as other surveillance activities, he said. He also added that the terrorist outfits were using modern technology to attack soft targets in the country. U.S. Africa Command regularly attacks Al-Shabaab with drones in the country. The last drone attack killed 13 Al-Shabaab members in the remote location near Tedan in central Somalia, August 14th. Al-Shabaab militants increased their attacks in the last 3 months. The most recent terrorist attack occurred last Friday night in Hiran region, and militants killed at least 21 civilians and destroyed food trucks that were traveling from Beledweyne to Mahas. The trucks have been transporting emergency food supplies to the drought victims in the region. Al-Shabaab has been waging a deadly war against Somalia's internationally backed government since 2011. That's all for our today's English news live from Mogadishu. With me, I am Omar Noor, and the entire team of the edition will leave you bye for now.